Hello there everyone, Ashton Flash here, and welcome on into a very interesting LEGO Marvel video. Today we're talking about the Fantastic Four and how LEGO's sort of teasing us in a couple of different ways right now. And I don't remember the last time was that I've had people just tag me and send me a post that LEGO has done in a while for me to talk about it, because it's kind of crazy what is here. So if you want, there are time codes and chapters if you want to hop around. We are going to discuss some things that we've already talked about before. First things first, if you've been living under a rock and you didn't know this set exists, set number 76316. This is the Fantastic Four versus Galactus construction figure. The set retails for $60 US, 80 Canadian. It released back in June. We do have a review of it if you want to check it out, but as of right now, this is our only set based off the new movie. But the first thing here is this poster that was posted today, and it is recreating the Fantastic Four First Steps poster. And it's sort of like that movie poster, and they've Legoized it, which I love when they did this back in the day. Like, we got that for some films that we didn't even get sets for, and I know that was because of like the actual video game and the DLC and different things, but they were still recreating posters. They did that for Star Wars for a run as well, but it's great to see them going back and doing this here. I know they did that for Superman, but that was because of Fortnite, so which we'll talk about in a second. But anyways, this looks awesome. You could see here that the figures are there. They didn't change anything. They're all using the same hair pieces, faces, and all that, and prints that they got in the set. But you could see there's this incredible model here of the Fantasticar. And I know that this is obviously a set that so many people are wanting made, and I feel like it's inevitable just how much love this movie has got. And I feel like that's such a perfect toy for kids as well. And the flying car looks great, especially on the side using those bow pieces. I like the look of that. I think that's using one of the newer pieces, as well as just the front, how they have that 2x4 round piece there going to the front headlights. The grille with the Fantastic Four symbol there on that 1x1 tile looks cool. I like the design of the hood of the car, and then I like the design here for the windows as well. And then I saw on the top of the roof, and this made me realize that this is not happening, at least not this model exactly. We've got this 4x4 tile there with the studs in the center, and you may be familiar with that. It's only made 3 appearances. Back in 2017 from the Lego Batman movie, Polka Dot Man created that tile, and it works really well for him with all the polka dots. And then in 2019 for the Lego Disney Minifigure Series 2, Frozone had it in light gray. And then lastly in 2021, Tasmanian Devil had that for like a spinning effect. You could actually spin him as well, and that was from the Looney Tunes minifigure series. So I can't see Lego bringing back that piece, seemingly retired 4 years later, for the top of a car. I guess it would be 5 years because there's obviously nothing for the rest of the year. Even if this did happen, it would maybe be spring earliest and then summertime. But again, unless it's going to appear somewhere else, that piece in blue, if you have any ideas for upcoming sets or something that you could be like, oh, I could see them using that for this, it doesn't make sense to do that. And I'm just interjecting here and adding this in, that I can foresee the comments of people being like, well, they had to create the car because that's what's on the poster. There's so many other posters that they could have chosen with just the Fantastic Four that they didn't need to do this one specifically. And unlike the Baxter building that you're going to see in a second talk about, this looks like an actual complete functional model for the car. There's a couple other things here that are brick built that we are sort of being teased with, like the Baxter building in the back. You could see just some of the hinges and everything, how they've done the top part to create this curve, as well as how they built the floor looks cool. But it's not the biggest thing. Like, you could even see those windows there, and just you could really spot a bunch of the parts. This is clearly just a mock for the poster. There's even some other brick built buildings in the background, as well as some billboards that you can pause and read. There's a taxi that doesn't even look like an actual taxi that we've gotten in Marvel sets. On the left side, there's this banner that says collect them all. There's this cool retro futuristic little car with that big bubble. And of course, there's H.E.R.B.I.E, which looks really cool. The design of this, you may be familiar with it, and you'll notice even the logo is a classic Fantastic Four symbol, not the retro one that you see on the car or even on the little suitcase that he's holding. But H.E.R.B.I.E here, this design is the same exact thing from 2013 from Lego Marvel Superheroes. So that's really interesting that they went with a comic book design rather than doing something based off of the films. And that same design was recently used in this short that was posted by Lego and Marvel on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe it was posted on other things, but it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds long. Cute little thing if you want to watch it. It's in the same sort of style and animation that all of the specials for Marvel that they've been doing recently. And Herbie appears again in that same design, which I think is really interesting. The rest of the Fantastic Four pretty much all have the same prints, hairpiece and all that. Thing doesn't have his hands for some reason, but Johnny has a flamed on version, which is exactly what we've been waiting for. I love what I think is Kai's hair there as well for the flame effect. I think that works really well. If you didn't know as well, the new pumpkin bombs in the new Spider-Man sets, they're also actually able to detach the flame, which I think is really cool. That could be used for Johnny. I'm so sad that we don't have that. Like that, again, my friend Forstud, I talked about this in my spoiler review when I was going through ideas for the movie. I showed his custom set of the Fantasticar, and it had a flame on Johnny chasing the Silver Surfer, and I think that would be a perfect way to include them in a set like that and maybe bring in some characters from the Galactus set. Another thing that we recently talked about is the fact that over on Lego Fortnite, they've actually added the Fantastic Four to the game, and they've changed some things. They've given them dual molded arms and legs, and it looks really perfect and just adds something, I think, to them all. As well as they changed Johnny's hair, which I think is very interesting, which I didn't realize until I was doing a short, but it's only ever appeared in 4 places. And the only place that you can get the hairpiece right now that's available is actually the Home Alone set. Actually, I just saw this now. You can also order it on Bricks and Pieces for 14 cents, and it's a bestseller, so it'll arrive in 3 to 5 days. But anyways, the thing with this is it's just crazy that they decided to have a better version and change it up for Fortnite. I know that Fortnite has an unlimited budget, like even the actual Fortnite sets, the minifigures we get in real life are not as detailed, because a lot of people don't understand that for Lego Fortnite or other video games, there's no budget. There's no spot in the warehouse that a machine has to actually spend time printing and creating these parts. The designers can just be like, you know what, for this outfit, we're just going to create a new hairpiece, because why not? Versus Lego, obviously, in real life, it's a lot more complicated. Also, a lot of people as well, I know we're talking about Frozone in this video, kind of cool that that's connected. Frozone does not work. It's not the same blue. If it was the same blue, I'd be talking about how Frozone works. The only way to get dual molded legs with the white is Condiment King, and you'd have to actually remove the printing from the legs for the underwear. But again, I just think that with the success of Fantastic Four First Steps, and maybe it's just because I like the film and I love the Fantastic Four, and I just want more stuff, that my desire for more sets is as big as Galactus's appetite right now. Like I'm really just itching for more stuff, and seeing the Fantasticar, seeing Flame on Johnny, seeing the Baxter Building, all these things, combining like this whole Marvel Street as well, just being like, I want a Baxter Building, whether small scale, big scale. There's just so much here that I'm dying to get from this, and I really hope Lego listens to us here. And I know as well that for the fans of DC, Superman also obviously deserves stuff too for that film. And in case you missed it, we did 7 videos in a row that week that came out. So there's just so much content that I made talking about that. And you know what? With Doomsday being pushed back, I think this really opens up the door for Lego having to fill in a spot in their portfolio next year for superheroes. So I hope that they go, you know what? What's hot? Let's go. Let's do Superman. Let's do Fantastic Four and fill in that gap. I think it'd be really great to see them try and do that and speed up the production of these sets, just like we saw them do with Grogu's reveal for The Mandalorian. Anyways, everyone, what do you think of these teases? What out of everything here that we saw today do you want to see Lego do first? And do you have any ideas for sets that I didn't talk about here as well for the Fantastic Four? But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.